perhaps the tallest of the Wolves players at the edge of the box. Lots of tall timber closer to goal as well. Goes near post and the Wall heads away. The Wanderers force it all the way back to Janjetovic, and Janjetovic, well, with plenty of players still up. There's the flick on from Madden. Good idea. Saw Scott's run. Lucas Sinnott also saw what was happening. Now, going back the other way, and Madden almost a backheader to clear it, but momentarily, as here's the Wall. And he goes for goal from way out. They want to touch and they'll get it. That is a Wanderers corner kick. And yes, there's that. Oh, I wish that cloud was still there, because this is going to be quite awkward. But at least from a Wanderers perspective, they'll be grateful Riley Hollingdale is not looking into this sun. And he signals. Giliotti is the short option, but don't think he's going to be used. Aim far post, too far. Oh well, here's a shot coming in from Fernandez. Blocked. And Kanaizumi still has some defending to do. Fernandez can't turn past two players. Pressure might still be on here. Chelina. And then Knezovic cannot make it stick. Afuka looking for Ryan. Giliotti. Seeing him, a lot of attacking from him, this time using his speed defensively, wins the free kick. Now, McStay taking over, and McStay looking for True as Hollingdale lunges to clear. Approaching half-time, and let's see. Will there be something to change the half-time team talks that the coaches have cooked up before? We hear the whistle. Good run from Scott, and now Afuka looking to pounce in the middle. It is cleared away by Barbich. Well, a combination, of course. You expect that from a strike partnership that have played together for as long as Jake True and Lachlan Scott have, but still good to see those two kind of linking up wherever they are in the field. They both drifted to the far side that time. There's a nice move down the Wolves' right. Almost created a chance for Afuka. Scott turned to the defender. Now, here's Jake True. Flag stays down and saved with the feet by Lucas Sinnott. Yeah, there we go. That Scott True strike partnership really testing the Wanderers in a defensive sense as they look to go the other way, and Mustafa saw that coming. Beats Nizam to the punch. Now, well, this might work out for Knezovic. Now Giliotti, edge of the box. Grey jerseys in the way. And Giliotti looking for support. It comes in the form of Jesse Cameron. And back to Hollingdale. This will be a test of the Wanderers' patience. And then there's Dylan Ryan with the intercept and the quick pass. Lachlan Scott, yep, he should be onside. I'm pretty sure he is. And he's one-on-one with Chelina, looking for the ball. Here's Jake True. Great save from Sinnott. That's a wonderful save. Brave as well. The kind of situation where a keeper can get clattered. And then, well, actually, after all that, I think that's the flag. I think the decision from the assistant on the far side, Aaron Block, is offside. So it wouldn't have counted anyway, but Lucas Sinnott wasn't to know that. And you know what? He still deserves credit for making that save, because he made himself big, as the goalkeeper coaches like to say. And got his body well in the way of that shot from Jake True, offside or not. Afuka intercept. Hollingdale sends it. Sends it straight into the Wanderers box, and shout out to that Wanderers staff member who instinctively had the hands up to catch it. Of course, there is some heavy-duty perspex in the way, so none of the equipment that the Wanderers staff have in the box was in danger, but at least he's got those instincts. Now, nice ball. Afuka. Look, goes for the curler. Oh, that was so close. Very clever from Afuka to use the defender to try and block Lucas Sinnott's line of sight and aim for that far corner. He didn't quite get the bend that he was looking for, but it was a very clever idea. And Wolves are so close to scoring a second, as we're now in first half stoppage time. First half that's gone by pretty quickly, so I shouldn't expect much more. Perhaps the customary 60 seconds of time added on, which by the way is almost up. And there's a glance at the watch from Craig Fisher. This could be it, because nice safe header from Madden back to Vedran Janjetovic. And yeah, right on cue. Craig Fisher blows the whistle for halftime. The teams head to the dressing sheds with the visitors a goal to the good. Wollongong Wolves leading 1-0 over Western Sydney Wanderers. A spectacular goal in the 15th minute from Sebastian Hernandez. Left foot, 25 yards out. Top bins and left Lucas Sinnott with no chance. We'll take a short break, about 10 minutes or so, then we'll be back for the second half. Welcome back for the second half of our NPL Men's New South Wales coverage. Round 22 action from Wanderers Football Park. Wollongong Wolves currently a goal to the good over Western Sydney Wanderers as the second half is about to get underway. And we do understand there were some technical difficulties that affected roughly the first 40 minutes or so of our stream, so we do apologise for that. But at least you're here now and able to watch what happens the remainder of this contest. I will probably give a reminder of the two lineups out there as the officials just do their customary checks before the second half can get underway. There it is. It was a very interesting first half. I liked the tactical battle between the Wanderers and the Wolves. And I do know that the Wolves at least are unchanged as we begin the second half, thanks to Craig Fisher's whistle. Now, Yaqub Mustafa with the ball back to Darcy Madden, who I think had a very good opening 45 minutes in central defence for the visitors. Wanderers kind of pressing, but now it goes forward. Scott, good touch off the chest. And actually, we'll pull back for a free kick. No, so we'll take that chance. I think we'll go for the Wolves starting lineup of the Wolves lineup out there, because I know they didn't make any changes at halftime. So in goal for them, number 20, Vedran Janjetovic. 4 at the back, so from left to right, that is number 4, Dylan Ryan. Number 5, Banri Kanaizumi on the ball now. Number 3, Darcy Madden. And number 10, Yaqub Mustafa. In central midfield, number 6, Samuel Riak. And number 88, Christopher McStay. On the right, battling for possession right now, is number 11, the goal scorer, Sebastian Hernandez. What a goal that was. Left foot from 25 yards. On the left is number 7, Takumi Ofuka. And the strike partnership up front for the Wolves, number 9, Jake True, and the captain, number 24, Lucas Scott. So yes, the sun, well, that's only going to get lower and lower as the second half proceeds. We will try our best to call the action. As there's a ball that's going to land on the roof of the stand here at Wanderers Football Park. Actually, there has been a sub made at half-time, so Anthony Barbic is the player replaced. That's a bunch of shouting over the throw-in. It eventually goes the Wanderers' way. Yes, apologies, just trying to identify the new player for the Wanderers as McStay circles back. But yes, I can confirm, pretty confident looking at those short numbers. And I think it is just the one change made by the hosts. So yes, and by the way, that Wanderers lineup in goal for them is number 1, Lucas Sinnott. 4 at the back, so from left to right. Number 99, Ryan Devine. Number 16, Roman Chalina. Number 37 is the player introduced at halftime, Ricky Franson. And at right back, number 22, Jesse Cameron. In central midfield, number 25, Riley Hollingdale. And number 23, Marcus Fernandez. As Cameron plays it forward. On the right, number 77, Philip Gigliotti. On the left, number 35, Khan Nizam. And shall we say the number 10 role, number 14, Luka Knezovic. And at the point of attack, number 18, Arwan Luwal. And of course, the Wanderers are coached by Andrew Christensen. As Franson immediately into the action under pressure from Scott, and Scott has got a hold of possession. Scott tried to find Mustafa, instead it's with the Wanderers. Here's Luwal, and Luwal is fouled by Banri Kanaizumi. So, of course, we do apologise again for the stream issues. Apparently, let's just say it wasn't just us. We're not alone in being affected, but thankfully that's been resolved, and it's been resolved in time for the rest of the games being played today in NPL Men's New South Wales that you can watch the same way you're watching this one. Devine can't keep up with that one, but yes, coming up on the Football New South Wales YouTube page, 4:30 p.m, Sutherland Sharks versus Sydney United 58. 2 NPL men's games at 5 p.m, Sydney Olympic versus Manly United, called by the People's Champion Nicholas Kutniak. And also Central Coast Mariners versus Northwest Sydney Spirit, called by the voice of Central Coast Football, Pete Pryor. At 5:30 p.m. from Lambert Park, Twitch streaming expert William Constantinidis will call RPL Leichhardt versus St George FC. And then at 7 p.m, it's the commentator they call Pretty Boy, Alexander Molchanov. He'll be at Landon Stadium to call Blacktown City versus St George City. There's also one game tomorrow. The Adonis Will Gotsis will be at Illingdon Sports Centre to call Rockdale Illingdon versus Hills United. So Hills United travelling away against the league leaders, and well, that's a tough task for Hills. They're going to need to summon the spirit of Sarah Easthope, really. You think to get anything out of that one. But by the way, last night's NPL men's game also at Illingdon Sports Centre, Marconi Stallions defeating Sydney FC as Jan Jedovic not caught out by that long-range effort. But yeah, last night's game at the Illingdon Sports Centre, Sydney FC 0, Marconi Stallions 4, was on the mic for that one. Convincing performance from the Stallions, from the team whose colours are also Il Tricolore d'Italia, with those green jerseys, white shorts and red socks. Now, room to run for Jake True, now Scott, and McStay. Hernandez, as I look into the sun. Decent ball, but Sinnott, yes. There's a low one, and Sinnott all over that. Now, I think that's off Craig Fisher, so uncontested drop ball coming up to the Wanderers. Also, as I look at... I also had a stopwatch malfunction on my phone right at the start of the second half, so I am relying on the scoreboard opposite from us being accurate, but I'm looking at the stream, which is also in front of me, and it is great to see that it is working now, so thanks for tuning in on the Football New South Wales YouTube page at the live tab. Yeah, take into account the customary delays, 35 seconds or so, that sounds about right. So it looks like that scoreboard clock is accurate. Overlapping run from Dylan Ryan. And the flag is up from Aaron Block on assistant on the far side, so Ryan didn't keep that in play. Of course, I think, just by the way, Afuko's stolen it high and has the sideways option. Here's Hernandez trying to make it two strong hands to bat it away from danger by Lucas Sinnott. As Gigliotti tries to get rid of Samuel Riak. And that will be... Right, the whistle is blown. I'm not sure, is that a free kick or a throw-in right in front of the Wanderers bench? No, it's a free kick. Yes, I've already shouted out Craig Fisher, the centre referee, and assistant on the far side, Aaron Block. So, of course, can't forget the other two members of the third team, the match officials. The assistant right in front of us, as we see things here in the stand, is Cameron Wright. And today's fourth official is Manly Warringah's own Thomas Dale. And that'll be straightforward for Jan Jedovic. Shout out, by the way, to Dean, legendary Wellington Phoenix fan, who is here and has no need for a stream, but judging by a message I've just seen, he appears to be tuning in anyway. So, yeah, thanks for boosting our metrics, Dean. Wollongong Wolves free kick. Jan Jedovic will get us back underway, and I think he's very close to the Football New South Wales photographer for that game. I think that is Ali Erhan. He's done a great job with the photography of our state comps for so many years. As header from a bit of head tennis before Chelina, I think, does enough to keep it away from Lachlan Scott. Nizam wanted possession. The Wanderers keeping it centrally for now. Nizam, again, looking for the ball over the top. Now he drops deeper and gets it off Chelina. It's towards the wall. And Lual did get his foot to it. And that's Giliotti and Hollingdale. There's a run from Nizam to the left, but he goes to the right instead. Knezovic. And Knezovic takes a touch and a kind of unconventional header, but gets the job done. And the Wolves have seen out the danger from that latest Wanderers attack. McStay. Obviously a right-footed player, but he's got the required touch with his left foot as well. You could see him put the backspin on that, and if it wasn't for that excellent sliding tackle from Ricky Franson, might have been an opportunity for Jake True, who drifted over to the far side of the field. Now, Ryan, and I think was about to say that the Wolves were looking for the space to whip it in. Instead, they've decided to go back and start again. Now, they try the other side with Yaqub Mustafa. Decent ball to True. And True cross-blocked by Chelina. Now, here's a chance, and McStay parried Lachlan Scott to the rebound, and it's gone over the line, so Wollongong Wolves doubled their lead early in the second half. Lachlan Scott, as always, the expert goal poacher, has made it 2-0. He anticipated the rebound and just snuck it over the line before Lucas Sinnott could save it. So Western Sydney Wanderers 0, Wollongong Wolves 2. And the visitors looking to be in a great position as we head closer to the hour mark. And technique on the initial shot as well. Forced the save from Sinnott by keeping it low. And Sinnott did well, I think. Might have been a little bit unsighted, the Wanderers keeper. Did well with the first effort. But perhaps by a matter of millimetres, was not able to keep Lachlan Scott's effort from crossing the line. Lachlan Scott now trying to be the target forward, and he's brought Samuel Riak into the play. Now it's Hernandez. He's 1-on-1 with Devine. Now Riak. And backwards is the option to Mustafa. Lachlan Scott, no surprise that he's the Wolves' top scorer again. And that was his 8th goal for the campaign. As Scott finds McStay. And he's got a bit of room. He goes left-footed. Franson anticipates, stepped out of the back line and blocked the shot. So we always talk about goalkeepers having to close down the angle. Well, I think the same principle applies when you're a central defender stepping out of the back line. And Franson closed down the angle very well. Mustafa cutting inside. Yes. A couple of options. Look for Ofuka. Couldn't link up. Lucas Sinnott will take over for the Wanderers. It's Devine. And Devine fouled by Mustafa. Fernandez gets on with it quickly, finding Nizam. Fernandez again, but Riak pounced on the slightly loose touch. 2 in front of him, although more arriving, and one of them, Ofuka, overlapping run from Scott. Ofuka driving direct to goal. He shoots. Good save. Corner kick. So I think, as I shield my eyes from the sun, looks like McStay. Yeah, that is McStay. We got Scott and True being the nuisance value in front of the keeper, Lucas Sinnott. That's actually Wolves, a very tall team, so there's plenty for McStay to aim at. And here's Dylan Ryan, who heads into the side netting. By the way, it's going to be a substitution. So, yes. Number 99, Ryan Devine, one of the players to leave the field. And number 14, Luka Knezovic, is the other player who has been withdrawn for the Wanderers. So coming onto the field, number 4, Meliwetu Nkomo, who looks to be the straight swap for Devine. He's at left back, Nkomo. Apologies, I didn't see the other shirt number. I've still got a bit of time to figure it out. Looks like number 36, Dalosandi, is the player who replaced Luka Knezovic. But here's Lachlan Scott, now Ofuka for Wollongong. 4 up for Wolves in this attack. And Ofuka to True, the back heel. Ofuka is stopped by Fernandez. Yep. Just double checking that. It's 2 straight swaps made by the Wanderers coach Andrew Christensen. Meliwetu Nkomo replaces Ryan Devine at left back for the Wanderers, so no more Devine time this afternoon. And it is Dalosandi replacing Luka Knezovic, as I would say, I think the player in the number 10 role, playing just off Arwan Lawal. But here's McStay. Nice ball for Dylan Ryan. Well, actually a bit too high. In fact, he has handballed it as well. So, as the Wanderers have made 3 subs, not remind, because I believe there are streaming issues, so this will probably be the first time you're hearing these names on the bench. Although, sorry, these names of players named as substitutes for the Wanderers, but yeah, as I said, Ricky Franson, Dalosandi and Meliwetu Nkomo introduced for the second half. The other options for the Wanderers we could see are Matthew O'Donoghue, Julian Kopp and Marcus Petrovski. Diagonal ball. Nkomo reaches it and wins the corner off Hernandez. Just quickly, the Wolves bench. Backup keepers Oliver Yates, the other players Andre Takami, Dax Kelly, Damon Gray, and Mirza Muratovic. Looks like Hollingdale will take the kick from by the flag. But actually, always get that at least once a game. The usual shenanigans in the 6-yard box. Craig Fisher letting everyone know he's keeping an eye on it. Whipped in by Hollingdale, and, not punched cleanly. Chance maybe for Franson. Handball shout as well before it's fired over. Dalosandi with the effort there. I'm going to see a bit of treatment for a Wolves player. Now, apologies, I've missed that, so we might have to figure this out by process of elimination, see who's still standing up. It's not Kanaizumi. It might be Dylan Ryan, being helped to his feet by the referee, Craig Fisher. And physio wasn't called on, so I shall see Ryan. He's not leaving. Doesn't look like he's leaving the field. He's just going to his left back position. So yeah, good to see. Of course, important to check on players' welfare. We must take any even slightly suspected head knock very seriously, but Wollongong not requiring the physio, so they don't have to spend any time, down to 10 players. Janjetovic getting us back underway. Good header from Franson. Janjetovic, second chance to play it forward. Touch from Cameron. Can't link up with Sandy. Now Ofuka gets away from two players, but also forced backwards, and then yes, unusual, very uncharacteristic loose touch from Takumi Ofuka. Now Scott helped break that up, and here's McStay. Hernandez. McStay again, and Mustafa quick enough to keep that in play. Up against two. The ball, yep, that hasn't crossed. The whole of the ball has not crossed the whole of the line. McStay again. Tracked by Owan Lawal. Look, the Wanderers centre forward back defending near the corner flag, and he's done that. Well, that is defending that any central defender would be proud of. Used enough of his body, not to the extent where he conceded a free kick, but he's caused the ball to run over the sideline. Mustafa dispossessed by Khan Nizam. Tries a couple of step overs. Gets a bit of room to cut inside. Fernandez. Cameron. Cameron, little dink. And he's found Sandy. And Dalasandi has put it wide with bodies all over the place. And Darcy Madden possibly feeling a little bit sore as well. But how about the touch on that pass from Jesse Cameron as he got forward from defence to support that Wanderers move? It was a neat little chip, like the kind of thing you'd see from an accomplished golfer, just with a touch on it to drop it over the defence and right into Dalasandi's path. And Sandy, although he hasn't hit the target with either of his efforts so far, that'll please the Wanderers, because he is getting involved in asking questions of that Wolves defence, letting them know they won't have it easy as they try to see out this game and take the 3 points back to the South Coast. Ryan plays it forward. Now Hollingdale and the Wanderers have to work it back, but it's a little bit frantic out there, so need someone to settle it and get it on the ground. It was on the ground for a little moment, but here's Sandy turning away from trouble. Out wide, Gigliotti skies it, and Janjetovic. And a very safe claim of that cross as two Wanderers were steaming in at the back post. Cameron has been pinged for climbing all over. I think that was Lachlan Scott who's drawn the foul. True. Opts to go backwards to Mustafa. Hernandez let it run across his body, but Nkomo not having any of that, just stood in the way. And wins the throw in for his side. It's True applies the pressure. Sandy. We'll take an inadvertent 1-2 with Samuel Riak. Nkomo wants the ball played down the left side. He was overlapping with intent there. Ball never came towards him. And now they've got to cover Nkomo while he's up the field. Here's Hernandez to the byline. And he cuts it back. Here's Jake True. Jake True sends it into the fence. Now, of course, obviously, because I'm the one calling this game, we certainly hope you stick around. To the conclusion of this contest between the Wanderers and Wolves. Wolves leading by 2-0 with about 20 minutes remaining. They opened the scoring with a spectacular 25-yard left-footed strike from Sebastian Hernandez in the 15th minute. And then in the 56th minute, Lachlan Scott picked up the scraps from a rebound in the box to double Wollongong's advantage. But about to head into the final quarter of an hour, and that is where both of these teams score a lot of goals. Mustafa's cross is deflected behind for a corner kick. And did remark, although none of you would have seen it, because I think that's why none of you would have heard it, because I think that's when we were having streaming issues, but the sun out was a lot warmer than it has been in recent weeks. But with the sun setting and also there's some cloud cover, the temperature is dropping very, very, very quickly. So more familiar midwinter weather, or at least midwinter temperatures. Hollingdale, that 6-yard box is about as crowded as my commute to work, and he can't find a teammate. Now McStay trying to start the Wanderers attack. The Wolves attack. The Wanderers have been quick enough to at least slow it down. Riak. Now that's it. There's an off-the-ball foul. I'm not sure what happened, but Craig Fisher did. Jake True wanted the ball played in behind. Didn't happen because Jake True hit the deck, and the foul has been called against Roman Chalina. Don't mind me, I'm just putting a hoodie on. Yep, that's how much the temperature has dropped. McStay, outswinger, headed away. Now, Kanaizumi finding himself in the unusual position for him. Out wide, but put in a good cross towards Jake True and headed wide. Goal kick. Fernandez, as Mustafa is covering that. We're getting to the ball ahead of Nizam. McStay takes over. Such a tireless midfielder. Normally central midfield, but as we see in this phase of play, he drifts out wide, and França plays it behind for the corner, but Chris McStay providing a lot of the impetus for Wolves. That's a familiar sight if you've seen Wolves at all since he joined Wollongong. He'll be in central midfield, but he'll drift out to the left, out to the right. He'll get forward to support the attack. He'll drop back to help out the defense. He's one of those players that every team needs. Provides so much energy and also technical quality in that Wolves midfield. And, as we have seen, also some good dead ball deliveries. Let's see what he cooks up with this corner. To the far post and too far for everyone, so out the back it goes, and Marcus Fernandez, well, he's almost the furthest forward, and if under pressure he's decided to just boot it and give his teammates a chance to step up. Now while Scott and True, I think McStay waiting for Scott and True to get back on side. Here's Lachlan Scott. And now of course the Wolves coolly playing it back to the keeper. Now, it's important to note, we wouldn't expect this to be the end of the action. See, Wollongong Wolves. Actually, Wolves and the Wanderers score a lot of goals in the 76th minute or later. I noticed that when doing my prep as I break the game up into 15-minute sections. Here's a good run from McStay, and runners going to the near post, and the ball goes over them. But so, if I've got the maths right, admittedly that's a big if. Wollongong have scored 45 goals this season, if you include their 3 Australia Cup qualifiers for this year. Sorry, I'm just trying to do maths on the run. This will never end well. Yes, 45 goals, and 14 of them have been in the 76th minute or later. So that's almost a third of the goals they've scored this season. So definitely a team that can threaten the scoreboard late in games, but you can say something similar about the Wanderers, because More maths, oh dear. They've scored 55 goals this season in the league. Have the Wanderers, 18 of them in the 76th minute or later. So that, hopefully that encourages you to stick around to the end of this game before you tune into any of the other games. And Lachlan Scott has been pinged for the foul there. Now, so be a good company man. Of course, we don't just show men's football on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. We also show every game from the NPL Women's New South Wales competition. So that's into round 18 out of 26, I think, and all 7 women's games for this round. So all 7 NPL women's games for this round will be played tomorrow. But we'll go back to that as there's been another substitution. Matthew O'Donoghue is on the field. He's gone to left back, so Meliwetu Nkomo is now kind of the left wing. So I feel that means that Khan Nizam, number 35, is a player that's made way. Now Hollingdale. Cameron. Now Gigliotti. Lual finding Hollingdale, and he's dropped it over the top for O'Donoghue. Pretty physical encounter with Mustafa. He'll settle for the throw-in right by the corner flag. Now, was that a, hang on. No, I don't think that's a substitute. I think someone's cried a mid-game pit stop to change a jersey. So usually that would be blood on the jersey. So that does look like Chris McStay. I see the number 88 short, so yeah, it's Chris McStay. Well, it's going to get confusing because he's wearing the number 2 jersey, but no, that is not Harrison Busnell out there suddenly in central midfield. Definitely Chris McStay. Nkomo. Now O'Donoghue. Hollingdale. Sandy starting a run. They keep it centrally for now. Cameron. And Riak steps in. He read that like the Illawarra Mercury. And, well, before he could think about how to counter, the ball was taken away from him. Awan Lual. Holding it up. And Sandy goes back to O'Donoghue. Hollingdale. And Mustafa wants to shepherd. And yes, he does shepherd it out for a goal kick. Now, let's see, I think a Wolves play. Yep, there's the signal for substitution from Cameron Wright, assistant right in front of us. Double substitution. So I think I see a 27, although admittedly my eyesight isn't that good. As Thomas Dale, the 4th official, records the subs. It's going to be Sebastian Hernandez, one of the players to make way. And let's see, who is the other player to be withdrawn? I don't think, well, Chris McStay was just going to the sideline to get instructions, but Jake True is the other player withdrawn. So Hernandez and True off. I see a number 27. That would be Damon Gray. He's onto the field. And Damon Gray has been a Cup specialist this season. 2 goals for the season, both in Australia Cup qualifiers. One against Lane Cove FC. Actually, it was the one that decided the game because Wolves beat Lane Cove from Northern Suburbs Premier League by 1-0. And Damon Gray's other goal came in a 3-0 Cup win over Hills United. Gray, he's wide on the right, so he appears to be the replacement for straight swap. He's the straight swap for Sebastian Hernandez. No, apologies, I am trying to figure out the other player, identity of the other player who came on. I see a number 8, so that is Andre Takami. Andre Takami has gone up front, replacing Jake True. Now, Gigliotti crosses from deep, doesn't get it past Dylan Ryan. Scooped towards Hollingdale. Now O'Donoghue. Now Fernandez finds the pass. It's edge of the box, and Fernandez gets it back from Sandy. The Wolves have plenty of grey jerseys in the way, blocking the path to goal. Gigliotti. Now Fernandez. And Trelina couldn't get past that wall of Wolves defenders. Just quickly, I haven't forgotten those shout-outs to other games being played this weekend that you can watch on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. Decent ball there to Ryan. And now Takami tried the dummy, which Ricky Franson wasn't having any of. Yes, tomorrow in the NPL Women's New South Wales competition, 7 games. Starting from the complex next door to this place, Blacktown Football Park. At 3:30 p.m, I'll be calling the game between the Blacktown Spartans and Manly United. Then 4:40 p.m. in the women's competition tomorrow, from the incredibly cold Northridge Oval, Bulls FC Academy versus Sydney Olympic, as Cameron takes over. There's 4 NPL women's games at 5 p.m. Firstly, Illawarra Stingrays host the team that broke my heart by knocking the Flying Bats out of the Sapphire Cup. Those mean women are Sydney University. Sydney Uni then also knocked my employer out of the Sapphire Cup, but that's another story. Anyway, Illawarra Stingrays versus Sydney University, 5 p.m. tomorrow. And the other women's games you can watch at 5 p.m. tomorrow, RPL Leichhardt versus Football New South Wales Institute, University of New South Wales, and their new star signing, Abby Lemon, host Gladesville Ravens. That's 5 p.m. As is Emerging Jets versus Northern Tigers from Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. That's a Wanderers free kick, which Sandy left on the turf. The latest women's kickoff tomorrow, it's also the match of the round. 5:30 p.m. from the Arctic Circle, Northwest Sydney Spirits versus MacArthur Rams. And I'm assuming, because it's the women's match of the round, as the ball swung into the middle, foul committed by the Wanderers there. I assume that women's match of the round from the Arctic Circle will be called by the Serbian Martin Tyler, Nikola Pozder. There's also, as the Wanderers prepare, that would be surely their last substitution. So I think it's Julian Kopp, number 27, who's going to come on. He's replacing number 77, Philip Gigliotti. Apparently that's another, looks to be another straight swap. Kopp will be policing things on the right flank for the Wanderers over the remainder of this game. It's a decent shift, I thought, on the right for the Wanderers from Philip Gigliotti. And the Wanderers number 77 shows some good speed, racing up and down the line just like Valtteri Bottas, but he has gotten a bit of an early mark. Oh, by the way, the final women's game for tomorrow I haven't mentioned. The women's second-tier game, the League One Women's Match of the Round. St. George FC versus SD Raiders from Ernie Smith Reserve, and that'll be called by the Professor, Melissa Muscat. 3 p.m. League One Women's tomorrow. St. George FC versus SD Raiders. Now, here's the new man, Kopp. Decent ball to the near post. Kanozumi with the header. Hollingdale keeps it alive. Touch of Kanozumi. And we'll go on with the ball in Vedran Janjetović's gloves. Janjetović now in the 84th minute. Good header from Damon Gray. Copped a bit of a clattering as well from Matthew O'Donoghue. And he goes into the notebook. Now we're going to suspected head knock, so Wollongong physio will come on. Now Damon Gray does not need to leave the field. Damon Gray not looking comfortable, not looking very sore. Yeah, so obviously We'll take our time. This will add to the stoppage time. Right, yeah, we've got to make sure Damon Gray is okay before we can get back for the remainder of this game. Very unsympathetic child next to me telling him to get up. Like that young man later will learn when he gets hit like that, yeah, you'll take your time before getting back onto the field. Please. So good to see Damon Gray is okay. Wollongong still at the full complement of plays. McStay again trying one of those finesse passes. It is headed away by O'Donoghue. Now Nkomo. And then that they couldn't find Marcus Fernandez. Now Ofuka. And back to the keeper, Wollongong go. Here's Riak. So Wollongong certainly no incentive to rush things with this scoreboard situation. But, I mean, having said that, there is a reason why they have scored 14 goals this season in the 76th minute or later. It's their most productive 15-minute period of games this season. And the same can be said for the Wanderers, of course. So we look ahead. Fixtures for both teams. The Wanderers on Saturday the 6th of July. They're away at the Illingdon Sports Centre against St George FC. The mention of the Illingdon Sports Centre does remind me. I was there last night. Had a kebab roll, plenty of chili flakes. No Ivar. They didn't have Ivar for us. It's incredibly disappointing. Hopefully that's resolved by the time the Wanderers they go there on Saturday, July the 6th to play St George FC. And after that, the Wanderers are back here at home, Wanderers Football Park, on Sunday the 14th of July. Bastille Day, by the way. As the ball's played into middle and stopped by Kanaizumi. But yeah, Sunday 14th of July. Wanderers hosting Manly United here at Wanderers Football Park. We look ahead for the Wolves and what they've got coming up in the next 2 weeks as Ryan plays it forward, but that's going to be straight down the keeper's throat. Wolves on Sunday, the 7th of July, they're at home, playing against Sydney Olympic. And then on Saturday the 13th of July, they're away to Lambert Park, the home of Sydney's best barista. Shout out to Joe. But, yeah, Saturday the 13th of July, Wolves are away to Apia Leichhardt. Scott, tireless worker, battling away to the very end. And his physicality has helped the Wolves win a free kick. And time very much on Wollongong's side. Riak allowed to turn. Takami goes backwards. Madden. And Mustafa goes back to Madden. He's been excellent in central defence today. Darcy Madden, very much a franchise player for Wollongong Wolves. Worked well defensively in tandem with Banri Kanaizumi at the heart of the Wolves' defence. Good turn from Lual. Options in the middle, and there it goes. But Vedran Janjetovic doing what every goalkeeper likes to do when the team is leading late in late in games, catching the ball and falling very, very, very slowly to the ground. And shout out to one of the best exponents of that art in our state competitions, the Hills United women's captain, Sarah Easthope. The player some people call the clean sheet queen. And Hills United, they don't have this weekend's League One women's match of the round, but without giving away too much, I'd expect them to be on a stream soon. 90th minute set piece for Wollongong. I presume that's mixed day, and there are plenty of players still up for Wolves, so they've still got ambition to score at least one more. Everyone's back for the Wanderers as McStay delivers, and Kanozumi up there, back into the middle, and Scott didn't get the contact he wanted. Gray will challenge for this. Craig Fisher with the... Well, actually, Gray, it's going to be another suspected head knock, so we stop the play. Gray's been in the wars, but he's been active since coming on as a substitute. Before that, I was intrigued by the way Craig Fisher decided to signal that that was not a penalty. The finger wag, the old, I mean, for any old school NBA fans out there, the Dikembe Mutombo style finger wag. No, not today. I thought that'd get a little smile from today's camera operator, Chester. Yes. I know Chester's a basketball fan, and we certainly hope that you've enjoyed the coverage Chester and I provided today, because, of course, with Rudy Hill being the suburb with the most Filipinos in Australia, it's very appropriate that you got the Filipino Dream Team bringing this game to you from Wanderers Football Park. As here's Julian Kopp stealing in behind, and lunging there, Darcy Madden, another crucial defensive intervention, sends it onto one of the many fields here at Wanderers Football Park at the expense of a corner kick. Now, everyone back for Wollongong. They want that clean sheet. Here we go. Header, well, attempted header there from Cholina, cleared. And as Fernandez goes back into the mixer, that one, well, was awkward for Kanizumi, and then, of course, that's off the head. So, Jan Jedovic can use the gloves. Go, about 2 minutes of time added on. So look at the stream and then account for the roughly 35-second delay. Now, Ufuka and Takami. There was at least one shot for Takami to head to the corner flag. That's not what he does. And Ofuka's squeezed out. They're losing the 2-on-1 battle. There's been some stoppages, so I mean, there's usually at least... It's unusual to see a second half of football without at least 3 minutes time added on. Could even see a bit more. Now, there's the run from McStay. McStay didn't see anyone in the middle, so cycles it back to Scott. Wollongong, of course, backwards certainly an option when there's no room in front of you, and that'll help run down a few more seconds. McStay, back to Kanizumi. Now Jan Jedovic, no need to take any risks. He just aims long towards Gray. The header instead from O'Donoghue. Now Fernandez. And Madden, well, I think his first intent, he wanted to head it back to Jan Jedovic. The height of the ball didn't really cooperate with that idea. Madden deals with the danger anyway. Sandy, now through to Lawal, and Madden arcing his defensive run to protect his keeper. So Jan Jedovic will take as much time as he can before picking it up. Now, a bit of room for Ofuka. He bounces it off Scott, and now that's an interesting move back to Afuka, and it's off fingertips. Lucas Sinnott was quick enough to save. That's that. It's now 4 wins and a draw in Wollongong Wolves' last 5 league games, and they've really boosted their chances of making the 6-team final series for 2024. Wollongong Wolves have defeated Western Sydney Wanderers by 2-0 here at Wanderers Football Park. Sebastian Hernandez opened the scoring with a wonderful 25-yarded left-footed strike in the 15th minute, and in the 56th minute, Lachlan Scott doubled the Wolves' advantage, pouncing on a rebound from close range for his 8th goal of the season. We hope you stick around on the Football New South Wales YouTube page, because currently in progress is the game between Sutherland Sharks and Sydney United 58. That's 0-0. Then there's 2 kickoffs at 5 p.m. Sydney Olympic versus Manly United, called by the People's Champion Nicholas Kutniak. Central Coast Mariners versus Northwest Sydney Spirit, called by the voice of Central Coast football, Pete Pryor. At 5:30 p.m, RPL Leichhardt versus St George FC, called by William Constantinidis. And at 7 p.m. tonight, Blacktown City versus St George City, called by the Russian Simon Hill, Alexander Molchanov. Then tomorrow at 3 p.m, Rockdale Illingdon versus Hills United, called by the Adonis, Will Gotsis. And if you're a fan of my commentary, and you really should be, then tomorrow I'll be calling the women's game between Blacktown Spartans and Manly United from next door at Blacktown Football Park, 3:30 p.m. kickoff there. But this is Eric Subihano signing off for Football New South Wales on behalf of them and our camera operator Chester. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of NPL Men's New South Wales for today, and we apologise for the technical difficulties earlier. Take care, have plenty of good vibes, great coffee, sick tattoos, razzlers, and may you have successful road trips in your future. See you next time.